I don't care if it's a week, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate? LeBron James. That's who y'all got to start appreciating. And you got to stop disrespecting this man. You got A.J. Brown, who's a legit number one, and you got Julio, who's a legit number one. One of them dudes got to get double teamed. Who gonna get double teamed? And whoever gets double teamed, the other one gets the ball. I'm saying this with no pun intended, with full of pride. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Prideful podcast. As always, it's your boy Pride, and I got a special guest. That boy they call Mike Brooks from Chi-Town. How you doing, my guy? How you feeling today, bro?
I'm feeling good. How about yourself? I'm happy to be here.
Another day, another dollar, and I appreciate you spending some time with me to chat up some sports. Obviously, Sunday came and went, some lovely NFL talk, but first and foremost, we're going to have to talk about the NBA. Ben Simmons, he decided to finally show up. Now, whether or not this means he's going to stay, I don't know. But Sunday, he had his first practice. And then earlier today, he had a practice. And it's funny. When everyone was in the group, like in the end, when they do the whole, 76 on 3, 1, 2, 3, 6s, or whatever, you just see Ben Simmons in the background like, look, man, I'm just here because I'm trying to get my check.
Yeah.
He showed up, and nobody really thought he was going to show up. So the question comes, Mike, is this a sign of things to come? Is it possible that Ben will end up staying with the 76ers?
If I'm being honest, I would probably say I think he would stay until the All-Star break, and then once if his play keep getting better, then I would say they probably would move him. But if not, I can see him staying for the whole season.
You say whole season?
Yeah.
I don't. What this kind of looks like to me is he's basically doing what James Harden did last year. Right? Where he's like, yo, look, I want out. I don't want to, I'm trying to dip. I'm going to be out. But I'm going to play, though. So that way nobody can question whether or not I still got it or anything like that. Because the thing is, look, Ben Simmons' stock right now is already low, right? Homeboy, look, and I'm a Ben Simmons fan. Homeboy ain't got a jump shot.
Yeah,
whether or not he refuses to shoot or he can't shoot, I don't know. I think it's more that he refuses to shoot. Yeah. Because every offseason for the past 3 years, homeboy looked like a 7-foot Steph Curry.
Yeah. I honestly think I feel like when he requested a trade, I feel like they didn't have a trade partner for him. So which he realized his best bet was to stay with Philadelphia. Because if he would have went somewhere else, he would have to, do a whole little rebuild. So I think the whole little situation backfired on him and his and Clutch Sports. So that's why I think the whole reason why he's staying with Philly.
Well, I think I see why you think that. I think it backfired a little bit on the Sixers, right? Because Ben Simmons is not. He don't care. Like if you see some of the videos, homeboy is just like, oh, like they're all talking to each other, and he off in the corner just kind of just like with his hands in the air, but the ball just kind of playing around and stuff. So I don't know what's really going on. If I have to take a guess, look, I don't think he's staying with the Sixers. Yeah. I think by the trade deadline, he's gonna be up and out of here. And the reason I'm saying that is because Ben don't want to be there.
Yeah,
he made that abundantly clear. Ain't no way you're gonna go and say all this stuff, and then 2 weeks later backstab, back up on everything and be like, no, I ain't really mean it. You know what I mean? Because that's what the 76ers have been doing to him. You know what I mean?
Well, if you Ben Simmons, I mean, you gotta show that you can play, because if he still plays the same, who would trade for him? Like, would you trade for Ben Simmons? If Ben Simmons stayed the same from now to All-Star break, would you trade for Ben Simmons if you're a GM? I
would, depending on who I got on my team. Right now, if I'm a team like the obviously everyone's saying the Golden State Warriors, but if I'm another team, kind of like the Clippers, right, where you have two stars already, and Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, even though Kawhi is going to be out for the year, you still have those two guys, right, and you can get Ben Simmons to fill that third spot. You know what I mean? Like in the big three. If you're a guy looking for that, go for it. Or if you just want a guy with like name brand, like the Orlando Magic, if they were to trade for him, it's just to get butts in the seats because Ben Simmons is a big name. You know what I mean? But if we're looking, if, like, for instance, like the Trailblazers, they wanted to throw CJ McCollum in there, that wouldn't make sense. And it's because Ben Simmons already showed you as of now, if he doesn't improve at all, he's basically going to be the third guy. And in any big three, if any big three whatsoever, he's going to be the third guy.
Yeah.
So if I'm a GM and I have a team and I'm like the Brooklyn Nets, who already have 2 stars, you already have 2 guys who can carry the load, I would, if Ben Simmons stayed the way he was, I would try to, see. But at the same time, I'm not giving up everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's where it comes to Philly. Why I feel like Philly holds all the cards, because if you're not getting what you want back from Ben Simmons, I don't see them trading Ben Simmons. I think they're gonna let him just ride the wave until they probably can figure out what they really want to do. Because I feel like Daryl Morey, his top target right now would probably be Dame Lillard or Bradley Beal that he want.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the right trade for Ben Simmons right now, I would trade if I'm Philly GM. I would trade him to the Pacers and try to get anybody from the Pacers other than Sabonis, because I don't think the Pacers will let go of Sabonis. I think that's the best move for Philly and Ben Simmons to go, because you can get Karis LeVert, Malcolm Brogdon, maybe a Miles Turner, like, or TJ Warren. Like, they got pieces to move. Where if I'm Ben Simmons, I'm like, all right, cool. I can go play for Indiana for 3 seasons, play with Sabonis. I got Rick Carlisle as my head coach. We can compete, maybe get a 6 seed in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, see what happened. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you throwing out Malcolm Brogdon, that is a name that, like, because if you think about it, he is and people get mad at me when I say this, he's a poor man's Ben Simmons with a jump shot.
Yeah.
Like, the way he plays, he does a lot of the stuff that Ben Simmons does. But then he also has a reliable jump shot. So if you were to get him, I would like that. The only problem is, like you said, Philly they want too much.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, look, I understand why, because it's the potential, right? I mean, again, Ben Simmons is a jump shot away from being, I don't care what anyone says, a top 5 player. He's a jump shot away. Let this dude get a solid jump shot.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? But the problem is, if he gets that jump shot, will he use it? Because, like I said, it's brutal being a Ben Simmons fan, because it's a roller coaster. And for the last 3 years in the offseason, the dude can't miss a shot.
Yeah.
Then we get to the regular season, and then all of a sudden, he either can't shoot or won't shoot. And it's getting to a point where to me, if I'm the Sixers, let him go. Sometimes you just need to break up. Sometimes I gotta go y'all separate ways. For instance, and I'm gonna touch on this a little later, Carson Wentz in Philly, right? They had to go. They had to go their separate ways. They needed to just, it just wasn't working out. And that's what I see here. It's not working out. So they kind of just got to be, you know what? It is what it is. We'll stick with Joel Embiid. Let's go get a guard who can shoot, and we go from there. You know what I mean? Like, but this whole thing that Philly's trying to do, where we want one guy who can be an all-star, another guy who can fit in our rotation, and like 4 it's like, okay, look, timeout. Look, man, you gotta pump the brakes, because you do understand that you saying that doesn't mean you're gonna get it. And even you start playing hardball, eventually teams are gonna be like, all right, whatever, keep them.
Yeah, and that falls on Daryl Morey and Elton Brand, because I think they know that like you said, Ben Simmons is a jump shot away from being a top 5 player, and they want the best in return for Ben Simmons, but they're not going to get that because Ben Simmons has yet to prove that he's a top 5 player in this league. So I feel like once they come to realize that, they need to just make a move for now, and then let's see how I play with this new team. Then next season, just recuperate, and then if Ben Simmons blossoms to that top 5 player, then that's just something that you have to live with.
Yeah, and the thing is, in order for him, and I've been saying this for like 2 years now, I believe the only way Ben Simmons will truly unlock his potential is the day he leaves Philly. I just think, and not to say that Philly is a horrible front office or it's a horrible team, but the way he plays, it's just the only way he'll really feel the need to change is if he's on a whole separate team.
Yeah, but me honestly, I feel like even if you do leave Philly, I feel like Ben Simmons will still be the same, just for some fact that I, I just think he's so relied on his skills now that he don't think he really need a jump shot, and that's the difference between him and a guy like Giannis. Like Giannis, he wants that. I think Ben Simmons just want to rely on his skills he got right now. Just like I'm not comparing the two, but like an Andrew Wiggins, like he's in Golden State and he's have yet to show us that he's a capable third option. And it's just some guys who they just want to live with what they got right now. And I think Ben Simmons is one of those guys who just maybe probably in year 8 when his athleticism goes down, he may start taking jump shots. But right now, I don't see him taking jump shots because he would have been started taking jump shots already.
I feel you with that because it could be that's what it is. Because think about it, the way he's been at what 3 All-Stars at the All-Star game.
Defensive player of the year could have been one that.
Right, so he has had success with the way he's playing. So it could be that he's kind of just like, yo, this is who I am. I'm having success regardless. So what's the difference? But again, if that's the mentality he's gonna have, fine, that's okay. But then we need to put him on a team where they can utilize that and they could capitalize on it. You know what I mean? Because again, and I'm saying that people want to yell at Ben Simmons for what happened in Philly, but they don't want to talk about Joel Embiid having 8 turnovers. And they don't want to talk about the defense that Ben Simmons was putting on Trae Young that was giving him trouble.
Yeah, so Tobias Harris is one of those guys who deserve a lot of that credit. Yeah.
Clean.
Yeah.
And it's like we can't just solely blame Ben Simmons. Again, if you want to give him some of the blame, of course, I agree. I'm not fighting that. But you can't sit there and look at me in my face and tell me, oh yeah, it's all Ben Simmons' fault.
Yeah, no.
You can't tell me that when Joel Embiid as a center is turning the ball over at a rate that you see a Russell Westbrook turn the ball over or a James Harden turn the ball over back when he was with the Rockets. Like, you can't be like, oh yeah, that doesn't matter. But we're going to, again, like I said, if you want to blame him, that's fine. He's not a horrible player. He's not trash. And I've seen a lot of people say that. And this is a litmus test to see if anyone knows basketball. If you say Ben Simmons and they say trash, they don't know basketball. So just go, okay, and walk away. Don't even waste your breath with them. Yeah. I will say this when it comes to Ben Simmons. If I'm Ben, I shut my mouth. I hoop. I don't talk to anybody. I don't. They don't know if he's going to play the season opener. If I'm Ben, I play it. I do not drive one time. Yeah. I'm shooting threes constantly. And if it's out of 3, it's a mid-ranger. Because the thing is, he needs to show that he can shoot. Or he at least has some base where he can start off from. Because if he just keeps driving, they're going to be like, okay, yeah, that's great and all. But we need to see something that makes us want to go, okay, we're going to get you, and we're going to get you now.
And this is a real test to see like how the real Ben's like how Ben Simmons react. So like you can start the season and just take jump shots, show everybody that you can do. You can shoot, boost your trade value up, and then go to the front office. I want to go here, make this move here. Now you up your value. But if you still play the same, you showing everybody that just the same Ben Simmons and that you don't want to change. So.
Yep, and it's funny because he said it's not my job to increase my trade value, and I agree with him to an extent. That's really not your job, but you're not helping either because if you want to leave and you're not really trying to show other teams this is why you should get me, you're not helping yourself. Anything you're kind of strapping yourself down to the one place you don't want to be.
Yeah, I mean I feel like. The trade it is up to him to increase his own trade bank. If you don't want to be in Philly, and I'm pretty sure he didn't have too many offers of places he wanted to go, so you got to show everybody that you can play that why they should invest in you. 100%. Just like you show Philly why they should give you the contract, and they gave you the contract, and it's up to you to keep getting better and better every year. And if not, they got every right to move off from you.
100%. They definitely do. The thing is, I'm like from Philly, make up your mind. Either you want to do it or you don't.
Yes, and
that's really how it is for me. Make up your minds whether or not y'all want him or not. And Ben, He's making the right moves by showing up to practice. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be nice to see how this ends up playing out the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Like I said, I believe by the trade deadline he's out of here. I genuinely believe that because the animosity between him and not only the front office, not only the star player, and now some of the role players that when they all try to visit him, he was like, "Nah, stay home."
Yeah.
And the head coach, there's too much animosity to be able to overcome that before the trade deadline.
And even the fans, you may mess up, you may have one bad game, and Philly fans are hard. You might come back game 2 and they booing you out the crowd. And
I would say this right now: Philly fans are some of the dumbest fans. And I'm not even joking. Like there's that's not that. Like Knicks fans are hard. They're hard, right? Like them dudes have a high expectation. Like look, bro.
Yeah.
Me, I'm 5'10", 250, and if right now the Knicks sign me today and I play for their season opener, if I didn't drop an efficient 35, matter of fact, if I ain't giving them a triple double and a win, they're booing me like crazy, right? Philly fans are different, right? Yeah. They're different because it's like they don't remember what Ben Simmons gave them, right? Yeah. Like what he contributed to giving them. That's why I say Philly fans are some of the dumbest fans on earth. Yeah. People get mad at me when I say that, and I'm like, look, man, if you really sit down and talk to a Philly fan, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, there's probably like 3% that aren't stupid.
I understand. It's like nowadays it's just about what have you done for me lately. They don't think about 2 years ago or 3 years ago. It's all about what have you done for me lately. And from Philly fans, what they remember is Game 7.
Yeah. Oh. And then it's kind of funny because before Ben, they couldn't spell Game 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they forgot the hard times they was on before Ben showed up.
Trust
you know what I mean? Yeah. And again, I'm not trying to say that Ben Simmons is the sole reason, but he's a key reason on why they've become prominent, why they have the number 1 seed.
Yeah. And some of that falls on the front office too, because they have made some boneheaded moves and like letting go JJ Redick and Jimmy Butler.
I never understood that. I never did. People say, oh yeah, they shouldn't have let go of Jimmy Butler. My thing is they should have. I have no problem with them letting go of Jimmy Butler. And you want to know why? Because people forget this. Jimmy Butler didn't want to be there no more.
Yeah.
Like people forgot. Like Joel Embiid was like, oh yeah, we let go of Jimmy Butler for him. Bro. No. Yeah. Other way around. Jimmy Butler did not want nothing to do with you or that whole organization.
Yeah,
bro.
He said it was no structure, so that's why that's the reason he left.
Yeah, exactly. So he was like, I'm out of here. It's gonna be nice to see. I'm very curious as to see because, like I said, I don't think he'll be there by the trade deadline, and I'm very curious to see who's gonna end up getting Ben Simmons and for what. Because remember the whole Kawhi Leonard situation. Remember, it started with them wanting. At one point, they wanted Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Terry Rozier.
Yeah.
And they went to LA and they were like, Leo, we'll take the long kids. Give us Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and Kyle Kuzma. And then they ended up having to settle for DeMar DeRozan and Jakob Poeltl.
And that's what I think gonna happen. I think they're more too full of himself. He want that superstar player that he's not going to get. And once he comes to terms to that, the deal is done.
Yep, it's going to be now. Again, Philly does have a little bit of advantage because they still got Ben for I think about 3 more years after this year.
Yeah.
So they do have him. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not Ben Simmons eventually tries to literally hold out because he did threaten it, and then he was like, "Yeah, let me come back to work."
Too much money.
Yeah, bro. It's going to be nice to see how that plays out. But speaking of playing out, I want to play a little game with you. Hot or not? We got 5 teams listed. The Lakers. Obviously, we have to talk about them. And right after them, we got the Clippers. Their rival, which I don't understand why they're rivals. Portland, which Dame Lillard, Dame Time, CJ McCollum, the Bulls, who all of a sudden everyone thinks is the best team in the East. And the Mavs. We're going to play a little game. Who can start hot and go 3-0, right? So, starting off, we're going to start off with the Bulls. First 3 games, at Pistons, and then home against the Pelicans, and then home again against the Pistons. They going 3-0?
Yeah. Just for the fact that you playing Pistons twice in the Pelican game without Zion Williams, That's that's an easy 3-0.
I'll be honest with you. I wanted to say no so bad. I ain't gonna hold you. I wanted to, but then when I saw Pistons twice, I saw Pistons at Pistons and then Pelicans. I was like, I remember Zion said he's gonna play, and then everybody else is saying he's not gonna play. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go with the route that he's not gonna play.
Yeah.
This is the easiest start to a schedule you can possibly have. Yeah. Like if there is such thing as a give me win, it's the Pistons right now.
Yeah.
Like Detroit is down bad, bro. Like you feel me? The Pistons is bad, the Lions is bad. You feel me? Like so. Obviously, they're going to go 3-0. I'm very interested to see how they actually pan out long term. Look, I'll be honest with you. I'm not a believer in Zach LaVine. I'm not a believer at all. I'm not a believer. I think he's overrated at best. He's a wannabe Bradley Beal who can jump high. That's how I look at him. Like he tries so bad to be Bradley Beal, but he's not good enough to be Bradley Beal. Like. Go ahead. It look like you want to kill me. You about to leave, bro. Go ahead.
I got a question. So what you're saying is Bradley Beal is better than Zach LaVine,
and it's not even close.
All right. So so I'm gonna tell you, Bradley Beal had John Wall, Russell Westbrook.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Bradley Beal had more talent than Zach LaVine.
No. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You can't just, and I'm explaining to you. You can't go, oh yeah, this is the talent he had around him. Bradley Beal. Remember, John Wall was out for a while, and Bradley Beal was getting buckets.
And Zach LaVine getting buckets. He was what?
Not on the level Bradley Beal did it. I'm being honest.
He averaged 27, 50 from the field, 40 from the three, and I want to say 80, 90 from the free throw line. That was a
good player. He's a good player. He's a good player. Sure, look, man, Zach LaVine's a good player. He's not great though.
You could have had me at Devin Booker over Zach LaVine, but not Bradley Beal. I don't think Bradley Beal is that good. I just think Bradley Beal is just a scorer. That's it. Zach LaVine can play make. He can score. He got a mid range to three. He can post up and he can play.
He can't post up like that, bro. His post up game is lit.
No, it's not. It's a good post up game.
And so is Bradley Beal's.
Nah. Okay, so I feel like this season will tell everybody who's better between Zach LaVine and Bradley Beal. I feel like this season we would know because we really couldn't see Zach LaVine do anything until these last two seasons. Once he came back from that injury, Zach LaVine took off. What a bad Bulls team. Horrible Bulls team.
And horrible Bulls. Yeah, he carried them to the playoffs, didn't he?
Nah. He almost last season.
Almost. But, and guess what? I almost was born a woman, but Lord and behold, I came out a boy. I don't want to hear any of this almost stuff. Look,
what have Bradley Beal done?
I mean, again, if you want to go compensate, he made a couple All-Star teams. If I'm not mistaken, he was top 5 in scoring this last year.
Who he had?
Whoa. Zach LaVine was on that same energy two years ago. You said last 2 years ever since he came back from the injury. How many? What do you got to show for it?
Okay, look, you're right, but my opinion, I don't see Bradley Beal a top 5 shooting guard in the league.
So who's your 5 then? Whoa. Who is your 5?
You got James Harden. You got Devin Booker.
Okay.
You got Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
Who else? I need some more shooting guards.
Clay.
I could throw in Clay once he get back from Paul George.
So you're not going to count Clay because he's out he's out with it. Okay, that's fair. Okay,
so Paul George, and then
who's that fifth slot? It's not Zach LaVine because Zach LaVine ain't no top 5 shooting guard.
I was gonna say Jaylen Brown, but it's too early for Jaylen Brown. I think it's another shooter. I just can't think off the top of my head right now that I could throw in before Bradley Beal.
We'll revisit this. We'll revisit this because after we have the whole list this whole list made out, I promise you, you're not gonna be exactly
CJ McCollum.
Yeah. Okay, fine. You can take that. You can take that. You can take that. You can take that. So you're telling me Bradley Beal is not a top 10 shooting guard?
Top 10, top 10 maybe.
Okay, all right. We'll agree, disagree. He's top 10, and he's above. He's above Zach LaVine. I'm good with that. I'll sleep above. But speaking of CJ, them Trailblazers, are they going 3-0? They got two home games. First against the Kings and against the Suns, and then away at the Clippers.
So the Kings is a win, but I really do like that Kings team. But I think the Portland get the win. The Suns, they got Aiden problem going on, so that might key into them losing that game. Then the Clippers with no Kawhi Leonard, so it's possible. It's possible. But if I'm betting, I'll say no.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I'm saying no as well. I just obviously the Kings. We agree with the Kings. I do like the Kings. I like where they're heading. Young team. They're trending upwards. I do like them there. They're kind of how we looked at the Minnesota Timberwolves. Like 4 years back?
Yeah.
I only had all that young talent. We're like, whoo, they're gonna be a problem. That's how I'm looking at this Kings team, right? Like they're looking nice. They're trending in the right direction. It's just when I look at that Suns, I don't think the contract for DeAndre Ayton, I don't think it's gonna start being an issue until I say towards the tail end of the year.
Yeah.
Because what I think is gonna happen, I think DeAndre is gonna say, you know what, fine, whatever. And I feel so bad because everyone and their mother is getting extensions.
Yeah.
And then he's kind of left in dust.
And I think it's wrong for him because he the one who took a seat back for Chris Paul and Devin Booker, because before that he was putting up 20 and 10.
Yeah, and that's the part that people forget. Like he was a baller, and he kind of just was like, okay, hold on, I'm losing my touches to Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Even though I'm gonna get easier touches, I'm still losing some to him. And obviously Devin Booker has to do his thing. And he didn't put up a fuss, no huss. He was like, okay.
Got him to the finals.
Yeah, he was like, and that's what people forget. People forget he was a very crucial key in getting to the finals. People forget that. Now they're trying to act like the guy is like he's Zubats all of a sudden. It's like, no, he's not. Like this is a good, and I'm telling you this, in 2 years, he will be a top 3 center.
Yeah, I agree. And if you look at it, every big three, somebody took a back seat.
Yes.
Go back to Cleveland with you got Kevin Love, Chris Bosh, and Aiden took that back seat. So I feel like he deserved to get paid. He gonna play a big role once Chris Paul. No, he's not gonna put up the numbers he put up last year. So obviously Aiden gonna move up to number 2. Chris Paul gonna go to number 3. Yep. So for them to not pay him, and they didn't pay Bridges, and they just paid Landry Shampin. I think I missed nothing. Yeah, Shampin.
That blew my mind. It's like you guys are paying everybody,
yeah,
except a key member of your big 3. Like when you guys was hyping up the big 3, you guys were like, "Yo, look, Ayton, he's coming," and it's kind of messed up how they're kind of doing him. Yeah. I don't like it, but like I said, I don't think that's gonna matter until the end of the year when he goes back to revisit. What he'll probably do is say, "Look, I'm gonna ball out this year," and then y'all can't say no.
Yeah, you can't say no.
Right. So that's what I think he's gonna do.
I think Chris Paul, I'm not saying he gonna lose it all, but I think he might be their option this year. They're gonna need Aiden this year to get back to
100%, 100%, especially with a year older. I think Chris Paul understands that because the way he's looking at the team, he's like, "Look, I got talent on this team. I got a young cat in D-Book who can get his own bucket, and then I got a perfect 1-2 tandem that I can roll with Ayton." Chris Paul understands that, and I think he's definitely going to use him. In terms of the Clippers, I think the Clippers get it done.
Yeah.
Now, the only reason I think the Clippers will win is because, look, I'm not a fan of Paul George at all. I think in the regular, I'm explaining why in a minute. I'm gonna take this right with me. In the regular season, he's solid, good player.
Agree.
When he gets to the playoffs, he does this weird thing where
he don't show.
No, and it's amazing to me how no one says nothing because he was Ben Simmons before Ben Simmons was a pro.
Yeah.
Ever since he got to Oklahoma City, the dude's been virtually a no-show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like against the Suns last year, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm that dude," and I'm like, "Bro, you barely had any games you shot over 40% of the field. What are you talking about? You're that guy again." You know what I mean? It's like I'm not really sold on him postseason. They got a solid team. I like Terrence Mann, Luke Kennard. I like him.
Yeah.
I think it'll be enough to get the win, but I think it'll be close. But I don't know.
I understand you with the part, George, but the Clippers, I'm never was high on the Clippers. I feel like they window was the last 2 seasons. These last 2 seasons was the perfect opportunity for them to win the championship.
Yep.
And I feel like now I don't see them winning the championship in the future because everybody getting better. Last year you could have won because the injuries, and the year before that, I forgot what happened. The year before that they could have won the championship.
They choked 3-1 to Denver.
Yeah, Denver. Yeah. So those 2 years was the perfect time for the Clippers to win the championship, and like Kawhi Leonard won't be back this year. So I don't see Clippers winning anything in the next 3 years.
Nope, 100%. I don't either. Like, and I'm there with you. These last 2 years was frankly the only chance they had.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So sadly, this Clippers team probably gonna be like I don't want to say a bust, but I feel like
it's a bust. It's a bust. It's a bust.
Okay, so you could put them in the same category with the Lob City, the Clippers team with with Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan.
No, I actually put them higher.
Higher?
I put them higher. And the reason is because when it came to Lob City, a lot of the times it was injuries. They were just very unfortunate, and they caught very unlucky breaks. Now, they did choke some, which I get it. These mofos choked 3-1. I don't want to hear nothing. When you choke 3-1, and especially with Kawhi Leonard, Kawhi Leonard talking about, oh, yeah, I'm that guy. And you got Paul George talking about, yeah, bro, Kawhi called me. Well, yeah, he called you.
Yeah.
After like 3 other people ain't answered. People, you know what I mean? Go ahead.
Paul George, like I remember when he signed with the Clippers, he always said the Lakers was his favorite team. The day he signed, he said the Clippers.
I've been watching Clippers kid. I'm like, yo, whose man is this?
Paul George, he wanted to be with the Lakers, and I think the Clippers should make one move, and I play they should trade for John Wall.
Well, I don't think so. You know who I think they should actually trade for? Ben Simmons.
Oh.
And the reason I say that is because with Ben Simmons, you got a guy who can play make, and they got a lot of shooters on that team. Yeah, so. They can play make. So now you let Kawhi and Paul George kind of have to rest. He fits perfectly into that third star role. Mm-hmm. So that way, you're not asking a whole lot from him. And he also helps them defensively.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I get why you would want John Wall. But if the Clippers organization made it clear, our future is building around Kawhi Leonard and Paul George.
Paul George.
So if that's what they're doing, you might as well go on and try to get a third star. It'll be cheaper. And on top of that, when you get him, it'll be easier to integrate a guy like Ben Simmons in there, a guy who's a natural playmaker. It would make it a little easier. But then again, I'm not a John Wall fan, so
I said John Wall just because Kawhi out, and you're gonna need somebody to give you 20 points a game, and I feel like John Wall can do that. He can still play make, and he can still defend. So he can do everything Ben Simmons can do, but Ben Simmons can stay healthy. John Wall is you don't know.
Right, and not only that, also the ultimate question is when Kawhi comes back, how does John Wall fit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, it's easier to fit Ben Simmons with them. Yeah. With John Wall, it's like he's always been at least one of the key guys. In Washington, it was built around him and Beal. In Houston, they didn't really have much, but they were like, you know what? You can have the ball, do your thing or whatever. You know what I mean?
And with Ben Simmons, he don't have to go get a bucket because he know if they underachieve, the blame going on Kawhi Leonard and Paul George.
Exactly. So so that's kind of like the best way because let's say it is something like it's like something mental wrong with him.
Yeah.
There's really no pressure because if they lose, hey, I'm just the third guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the one.
I'm doing my job. I'm playmaking and defending. So.
Right. So that would be good. But all right. But okay. So we both agree the Trailblazers. They're not going. Yeah. They're not okay. All right. So Luka Doncic and these men. By the way, Luka Doncic. I just want to throw it out there. He's a top 5 player. If you disagree with me, we can fight about it. Their first 3 games, at Atlanta, at Raptors, and then home versus the Rockets.
I
How
would
that?
say, I would say yes, 3-0, but I'm not sold on this Mavs team. I'm sold on Luca, but I'm not sold on the Mavericks. I feel like they are not doing a good job at putting the team around Luca. So I don't I actually got them in the playing spot.
Whoa! Oh, we gotta talk about that, boy. Oh, we gotta talk about that, boy. You said playing.
Yeah,
You said
but
playing.
a 7 to 8 seed, like
What? You said the playing. We gotta talk
yeah.
about that. Hold on. Hold on. Nuh-uh. No way. Matter of fact, nah. Hold on to that. Hold on to that. We'll touch on that another day. Whoa.
But
Okay.
it's not Luca fault. It's nothing to do with Luca. Luca is amazing. It's
But
just
I think they have a solid. Honestly, you want to know who I think is going to be the key person in that whole team? Not Luka, Kristaps.
yes.
I think he's going to be the X factor because you're going to have to realize something. This dude is. Stop trying to make him a sharpshooter. Put him in the paint. Put his butt in there. And whether he's got to go in there or Luka tells him or Jason Kidd, the new head coach, is going to tell him, someone's got to tell him and start, utilizing him and be like, yo, bro, remember when you were in the Knicks and you just loved the paint?
Yeah.
Like, what happened? We need a little bit of that now.
But that falls on Luca. Luca is dribble, 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 shoot. Luca ain't looking at the pass to Kristaps. He trying to do his
Well, he's
own.
not looking to pass to him now because the thing is, Luca's always, not Luca. Kristaps is always chill at the 3-point line.
Yeah, so it's up to Kristaps to listen. I want the ball in the post. So it's up to
Yeah.
Kristaps to want to do more than a spot up shooter.
Because look, man, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Anthony Davis, Karl Anthony Towns, Joel Embiid, hell, Bam Adebayo. When those dudes want the ball, they get in the post and they clap. And even Carmelo Anthony old self, when he was with Trailblazers, he would do it and he making up a storm, getting the attention so Dame Lillard had to look at him. That's what Kristaps needs to do. He needs to get there and make a scene so he can get that ball.
But those guys, you can say that they're the best players on their team outside of maybe Bam. So Kristaps looking at it like Luka is the dominant. He's the best player, and I don't think Kristaps want to be in the post because he afraid to get hurt, and that's just my opinion. Why I feel like he don't want to be he don't want to battle in the paint. So he just feel like just on the outside of the 3-point line just chuck up shots. So
which I get it. But at the same time, if you want touches and you're a big man, you got to get in the paint.
Yeah.
Period. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how it goes. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. That's going to be. I believe this is the year that Kristaps says, "F this. I'm getting my butt in the paint." And I think we're going to see a little more hybrid, not as much as he was before, like in his Knick days, but I think enough where people are going. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to see a hybrid. Because injuries is a concern. And that's a solid point you brought up with the whole injuries thing. So he's going to be banging on, in the block, but he's also going to go out and get threes.
Yeah.
So
I can see it's on both. Like maybe Luka just don't see Kristaps as somebody who can be in the paint. He got other shooters around him, just not to give to Kristaps. And Kristaps got to be the one to be like, "Hey, Luka, I want the ball here, in the post. Just give it to me if I'm open." Then maybe Luka probably give it to him. Other than
I think he will. I personally, I believe he will. Because I just don't see Luka as a dude who just be like, meh. Because, you know what I mean? Like, he be getting his assists, you know what I mean? And they're not just little ticky-tacky assists where it's a fast break and then all of a sudden Russell Westbrook, he just turns around and just gives the ball so that way he can get an easy assist, you know what I mean? Like,
and
they've been set plays that Luka runs, and in his mind, he's like, I'm not shooting this. I'm dishing it.
And they're following J. Kidd to try to get those two together.
Yeah. So we agree, yes, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm with you. I think the hardest is going to be the Hawks, obviously. But I think it's going to be a close game, and I think the Mavs are going to edge it out. And then the Raptors, okay. Rockets, okay.
Blow out.
Yeah,
Rockets
so, you know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, those are double-digit wins. If not, then,
I go by saying Raptors and Rockets. Luka might have a triple-double.
He better. If not, him and I, we want to have a conversation. Speaking of Paul George earlier, bro, these Clippers, they at Warriors, then they have home against the Grizzlies and home against the Trailblazers. I say no.
Yeah, I'll probably go out on a limb and say 1-2-0-3 start.
I'm looking at war on 1 and 2. I think they beat the Grizzlies. I think the Trailblazers will give them the hardest. The Warriors, because Steph
The
is
Warriors
just
can be so good if James Wiseman is the key of the Warriors' future. If they win it, if they can contend this year, because I feel like he's real good, and it's up to James Wiseman health and to score more points, in the paint. And
yeah,
for
yeah. He definitely is going to be a very key. He's a very critical role in all of this. My concern is, are they actually going to give him a chance, or are they just willing to get rid of him? That's kind of my concern. Like, they're going to have to sit down and say, do we want him or not?
Yeah.
That's a conversation they're going to have to come up with themselves to figure it out, because it's getting ridiculous, man. Like, every other week, they're thinking about trading the kid. And it's like, look, you guys need a big man. You have one in James Wiseman. Is he the best? No. But he fits perfectly in what you guys want to do. He fits perfectly. So why try to get rid of him?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the Warriors they're just trying to find any player to integrate to their big three, which I feel like James Wiseman is still in his rookie deal. He's in the second year. He's a big man that you really need. He can play defense and score. That's what else can you ask for in the big man? Somebody who can play next to Draymond Green.
Yeah, so I don't get what they got going on over there. But for me, I think it's 1-2. I think they lose against the Warriors. I think they beat the Grizzlies. I think they might lose to Portland.
I think the Grizzlies gonna give them a run for their money. I like that Grizzly team.
No, I don't at all.
You don't like the Grizzlies?
I don't like these Grizzlies at all, bro. They don't scare me at all. Like, Grizzlies supposed to go raw, bro. These are Cubs, my guy. These is
not raw, but they got a nice team that can give the Clippers a run for their money without Kawhi Leonard, just Paul George.
Only nice thing about this Grizzlies team is when they're off my TV screen. Only nice thing about them. I don't want to hear nothing, bro. John Morant ever. I don't care what anybody says. People.
He's still young,
and that's fine. That's fine. Don't sell me that this kid all of a sudden is going to bring this Grizzlies team to the promised land. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, not by itself.
But that's what people are telling me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro. Yo, you know John Morant? Yeah. Okay, come on, bro. Knock it off. Me and John Morant have a very complicated relationship. I hate him. He does not know I exist, and it bothers me. So one day he'll acknowledge me. One day, but until that day, John Morant, I hate you. Then obviously we're gonna have to talk about one of the favorites to win the title. These LA Lakers. I just want to preface everything I'm saying. I am a LeBron James stan. I am a fanboy. If you look up his number one fan, you will see me. I believe he's the greatest basketball player to ever grace God's green earth. However,
you know what's crazy? Before you even start, I'm the opposite.
I know you are. Oh, I know. As soon as I saw the hat, I know. But again, I promise we'll have this conversation another day. I promise. Warriors, Suns, Grizzlies. All 3-game homestand. That's how they're opening. I think they go 0-3.
0-3?
And I've said this before, and the problem is, as a casual fan, right? If you're a casual fan, you don't really know basketball like that, right? You tune in and out and you hear. When you listen to the names, you're like, oh my God, this roster's stacked. They just got Avery Bradley, who's solid 3-and-D guy. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, those two alone, oh my God. And Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony. See, when you hear that, you're like, oh my God, forget the big three. That's a fantastic four. Until you realize we're not in 2012. We're not in 2015. Like, the problem people have, and again, this is a LeBron James stand.
And I applaud you because you're the first LeBron stand I ever heard say that. Like, this is not 2012. So
it's not. And look, I believe. Do I think LeBron James will do his LeBron James things? Of course. I think he'll be fine. I think Anthony Davis will do his thing. But then when you start looking at Russell Westbrook, he doesn't fit. He doesn't fit. And it's going to be – I don't think they'll win the chip. Will they make the playoffs? Probably, more than likely. I fear they might get bounced in the first round. Because Russell Westbrook – and here's the thing. I've been on multiple shows in my life, right? I've been on multiple. And they all say the same thing. Oh, this Lakers team, they're too stacked. Why are they stacked? Oh, Russell Westbrook, he averaged a triple-double. I asked them this question to this day, to quote the great Deontay Wilder, to this day, I have yet to get an answer. Ever since Kevin Durant left Russell Westbrook, the most team success he's had was when he went to the Rockets. He couldn't get his triple-doubles, and after one season, demanded to be out. And what was his reasoning? Because I want the ball in my hands more. So all of a sudden, you expect him, because then he ended up going to Washington, and he loved it there. He loved it because he was getting his triple-doubles like crazy. He loved it. He was living his best life. My thing is, do y'all all of a sudden expect him, and again, and here's another thing. By the way, again, this is a guy saying, I don't think the Lakers will win the championship. If you use the preseason to tell me it won't work, you're an idiot. I just want to throw that out there. Do not tell me this, oh, bro, have you seen him in the preseason? I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. Because I don't want to hear none of it at all. Because last year, guess who was winless in the preseason? Oh, the same team who ended up winning the NBA Finals. So I don't want to hear nothing about the preseason. I just want to throw that out there. But if you look at this team just simply don't fit. Yeah. They traded Kyle Kuzma, which I love, by the way. Not a Kyle Kuzma fan. I don't know who. To quote the great Conor McGregor, who the fuck is that guy? Like, I'm glad he was out of here. But they traded him to get an older Kyle Kuzma. And what do I mean by an older Kyle Kuzma?
Carmelo?
No, Russ. Russ is the new Kyle Kuzma. And it's because Kyle Kuzma never fit. He never fit in every way, shape, and form. He didn't fit. He didn't fit on the court. He didn't fit when he was out BSing and relaxing. You know, AD had, at the time, it was just his fiance. Now they're married. And him and Bron was just kind of chilling, doing family stuff. And Kyle Kuzma, he never fit. Now, on the court, you're getting an older Kyle Kuzma who Russ just won't fit. It's not going to fit. Now, will this team make the playoffs? Yeah. But if you really think this team's winning the finals, you're an idiot. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I don't have them winning the finals this year. I don't like. I agree with you. Westbrook is not a great fit. Like LeBron James. Look, to me, LeBron James is one of the best players. Just it's things that I don't like about him. But I wish he will. What's the word I'm looking for? Sometimes I feel like he just trade for the wrong pieces. Like if he sit down and build his team the way it should be, he could be a favorite every year. But I feel like the one move they should have traded for was Buddy Hield. Like I understand that you need a second ball handler to give LeBron some rest, but you got Westbrook and LeBron. Neither one is a good shooter, so it's automatically not gonna mesh, right?
Talk to him.
But what I say, Westbrook he's the scapegoat.
100%.
If things don't go right this season, it's gonna be blamed for Russell Westbrook.
And yes, because that's what I mean by he's filling that Kyle Kuzma role. Like, you know what I mean? And the thing is more than likely if they do mess up, you want to know what it is? It probably will be because of Russ. Because Russ is gonna have the ball in his hands, and you're gonna see LeBron begging for the rock, and he's not gonna be doing nothing.
Yeah.
So it's just like Will Brooks, what it do, baby?
What's up, Will?
But it's just, to me, it just doesn't make sense. Oh, okay, hold on. Lakers in 5, LeGoat. Look, I agree with the second part. You said LeGoat, I'm there with you. I'm 100% there with you. LeGoat, you feel me? Like, I'm about to pull a shady sharp and I'm about to buy a goat mask. So every single time LeBron does something great, every Monday I'm going to have it on, right? But in 5, I just don't see it. I would agree with you if they had gotten Buddy Hield and DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
If they had gotten those two guys who would have fit better, I'm with you. But the fact that you're now relying on a what? How old is Melo? And again, people go, oh, well, LeBron is old. They try to say LeBron is old. And I'm like, this is where people are messing up. LeBron is the anomaly. People don't usually this part of they don't say like that. Most people's career is like it's kind of like Kareem, where you're kind of just like mad old, just walking up. And you got Magic waiting on the. And if you don't want to go that bad, like Dirk, like D Wade, that's how your career goes. You just kind of you're just wake up. You know, you're not that guy.
Yeah, the next you play 2 games, the third game, like man, I ain't got it no more.
Yeah, you know, bro, D Wade had to come off the bench.
Yeah.
Imagine, yo, in 2012, I said, yeah, yo, Flash finna be coming off the bench in a few years. You be like, boy, you crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. And what happened? So, look, do I want LeBron? Listen, this is a win-win for me. And let me explain why. If LeBron wins another ring, it's just solidifying his argument as greatest of all time. I mean, and then if they lose, I'm right.
Yeah.
So regardless, I'm in a very comfortable position. I'm good either way. Either the greatest basketball player of all time gets another ring, or they lose and I'm right. Either way, I'm chilling.
Yeah, I mean, I think LeBron get one more before he retires, but I don't see it happening this year. Just because if somehow Westbrook changed his game, then maybe. But if Westbrook the same Westbrook, I can't see them winning the championship.
I just don't see him changing. Yeah. That's the sad part about it, because like I said. And this is what I ask all like the people who think Russell fit well. And I've asked this, and like I said, to this day, still haven't got an answer.
Yeah.
And Houston was the most team success he's ever had ever since KD left him. He took his ball and went home. And the reason was because he couldn't get enough touches. When you're doing that, and you're averaging at that, if I'm not mistaken, he was like 25, 7 to 7, something like that. So, and you need the ball more?
Yeah. I want to know who you got who you got winning the West? And since you said you don't have the Lakers,
I think the Suns.
Okay, we agree with that. Okay.
Yes, I got the same page. I have the Suns. Another dark horse I have is maybe the Nuggets. I want to see how Jamal Murray, you know what I mean? Because Jamal Murray coming back, there's not going to be pressure because they get Michael Porter Jr. that contract, and they going to be like, yo, bro, you got to step up while we give time to get in. So they might be a dark horse, but in terms of favorites, I'm going with the Suns.
Yeah.
And again, I love LeBron, but this team just don't mesh well.
My dark horse was the Jazz.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this right now. I'm glad you said that because I have a friend. His name's Jace. He's a Utah fan. Shout out to my guy Jace. Last year, the number 1 seed, Utah Jazz, was probably one of the most overrated number 1 seeds in the history of the NBA. Number 1, no, I put them at 2. Number 3 was the Atlanta Hawks when Braun was in Miami, when they had Jeff Teague and they had Kyle Korver.
The Big Four.
Yeah, the Big Four. And everyone was like, "Hey, look, man, listen, the motherfuckers ain't winning." Everyone in the motherfuckers ain't winning. That was 3. 2, my Boston Celtics. When we had Isaiah Thomas. When we almost lost to the 8-seeded Bulls. And the only reason we didn't lose was because Rondo got injured.
Yeah.
That's it. If Rondo is playing, bro, that is an embarrassment among embarrassments. By the way, IT does not deserve to be in the league, and his MVP year was an anomaly. We will talk about that another day, I promise you. But every time I say that, I get people trying to cancel me. I don't get it.
I mean, I think he should be on somebody's roster because, you know, you can use that scoring option. But
He's not that guy no more. That's the sad part about it.
He's not that guy to give you like 30, but maybe 10 to 15 points off the bench he can give you.
Yeah, he'll give me 10 or 15 off 20
shots. Boston can use that right now.
No, we don't. No, we cannot. We could. Brad Stevens, if you get him, I am posting free agency, and I'm going to be a Nets fan. Keep messing with me. I will be a Nets fan. I will be a bandwagon fan so quick. Bro, your head will spin, bro. We're not getting him. And then the most overrated 1 seed is going to be obviously my Celtics, but 2 is that Jazz team. I'm telling you right now, I was never scared of them. Like,
I mean, I said Jazz because like the injuries, you know, certain teams I thought they can beat.
Oh, so you think the injuries will open it up for them?
Yeah.
I mean,
from last season, and then I think another year with Donovan Mitchell, improving. And then I think Mike Conley was a good pickup. Rudy
I
Gobert
love
is
that
good.
pickup.
Rudy Gobert is good for defensive, but he needs to score more if I want to get him
You
that
know,
threat.
you know who they should have really gotten bad. And I've been saying this for a while. They should have went and gotten Chris Paul
Yeah, Chris
because if
Paul
they
with
had gotten
Donovan
Chris,
Mitchell. Yeah,
bro, not only with that, but then Chris Paul could have unlocked something in
and
Rudy Gobert.
yeah,
So he could have helped him score more. You know what I mean? But look, man, I will say this before we move on, and I don't think this is an argument. Chris Paul is a top 5 point guard all time.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. Because I know there's some people who goes, "Oh no, he's not," and it's like, okay, cool. I'm not talking about you. I ain't talking about you. Sunday fun day, bro. We had a game in London,
Yeah,
right? Imagine flying to London. Imagine we had a beautiful. Listen, bro. Sundays, I say this all the time, was made for football. I don't care what anybody says. It was made for football.
yeah.
You feel me? I wake up, I just feel happy because I know what it is. I know what's gonna happen. And before we move on, we got another comment. CP3 over Conley equals championship. You can make that argument. You can make the argument, and I'm not even mad about that argument at all. Because I genuinely believe if you put CP3 there, his leadership could potentially have made Donovan Mitchell turn into the Devin Booker we saw this year.
Mitchell is a bad man.
He bad. He a bad boy. He is. So you saying CP3 over Conley championship? You're not bugging for that. You're not bugging. Now, I'll be honest with you. I disagree a little bit, but not to the point where like something. If a casual reads this, they go, "You crazy." Me reading this, you're really not crazy. Because in like if they had gotten him last year, this because now Donovan Mitchell started playmaking, he could go be what he is, a bucket. Yeah. He can just do his thing, and then Chris Paul can help unlock everybody else. But Sunday fun day. Was there any surprises or anything you legitimately learned from this Wild Week 6?
Yeah. Before that, I want to give I feel sorry for London fans. They had to watch 2 horrible games. So I don't want to say I feel sorry for the fans of London.
Bro,
back
NFL, games. The NFL was like, "Hey, we on some Drake shit, bro. We going back to back with the horrible games, bro. It's wild."
Yeah, but as far as lesson learned and surprises. I'm surprised that I feel like the Cowboys are actually good.
I'm glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. They played the best game they possibly could. This is the best game they've ever had, and it took them overtime to beat a rebuilding team. I'm gonna say that one more time. It took them overtime to beat a rebuilding team. Are we sure this Dallas team is really that nice?
I mean, they playing good, but I usually say they play good and they just flank out towards the end of the season. So I was going to give this team at least 3 more weeks. But I was trying to think of something I wanted to say. So I might as well just talk about the Cowboys. I feel like as of right now, they're playing some good football. But I do understand the Patriots game. Because Mac Jones down there won that game.
He did. Nelson Aguilar dropped which I wasn't even mad. I wasn't mad because this is Nelson Aguilar's kind of MO. There's always going to be at least 2 balls that he's dropped. You know what I mean? And so when we signed him, I went in there thinking to myself, look, it is every game he's going to drop 2 passes. Yeah. I just hope and pray they're in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he dropped a very crucial one towards the end of the game, and then there was the face mask call, which I'm a New England fan, so a lot of people were like, had sour grapes about it. And I was like, look, I am upset about it. But at the same time, we can't dwell over a missed call. Yeah. We can't. Because, you know what I mean? They're not going to give it to us. So we can't just be like, oh, well, if it got that. Because you can't play the if game with that. You can't be like, oh, well, if we got that call, we would have. You can't really do that because who knows? Maybe he got the face mask and we got it. And then maybe the next play, Matt throws an interception. Or we hand the ball to a running back and he fumbles. So it's like, we can't really play that game with the whole, oh, well, if we got that call, it would have been. Yeah. Look, I just don't understand what's going on with the Patriots right now.
So do you think the Patriots are a receiver away from being good, or you think they need more?
I I genuinely believe we're a receiver away, but not an ordinary receiver like a Stephon Diggs, a D-Hop, like a top receiver.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it can't just be like a Cooper Kupp, you know, or a Hunter Renfro. Like, we need a legit number one. And then, but at the same time, it's like, I really don't know, because at the same time, even if we had that, Mac Jones needs time. I like Mac Jones. I'm rocking with him.
I think he looking the best out of all the 5 quarterbacks right now.
No, you see, that's what a smart person would say. A casual person would say, no, he's not. Right? It's like, you know, there's some people out there who says, oh no, he's not better than Trevor Lawrence because Trevor Lawrence has longer hair. He's not better than Justin Fields because Justin Fields has a beautiful tan. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm Will Brooks passing to the lead receiver, another good pass catching pass back. The back, you can make that argument, but elite receiver, yes. And when we say elite, I'm talking about the cream of the crop. Like, ain't no chica. We need like a top dude.
What about Odell?
Odell, maybe, but I'm gonna catch some. I'm gonna catch some shit from you.
I'm trying to think of some receivers that could be traded by the trade deadline. I think he one of those, or you could probably say A-Rob.
I don't, but maybe A-Rob, maybe. Oh, and right on cue, need an A-Rob. You could say that. A-Rob, it would make us better. It's just, what do we have to give up for him? That's my concern, you know, because again, the guys we need, we're gonna have to give up a lot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I do like the 2 tight ends system we have. I don't mind that. It really, especially with a young QB, you are gonna need an elite guy, or, which is what I hope we do, take a couple years. It is what it is. Whatever, we gonna lose, and let's just develop Mac Jones, so that way, when we do get an elite receiver, we can just hit the ground running. That way, when they're like, okay, we like what we see in Mac Jones, we got enough progression, we got an elite receiver, boom, let's go back to reclaiming the division.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at. But to your Odell point, I just want to say, I'm going to say this. Odell Beckham is a Juju Smith-Schuster who had one good catch. That's how he's starting to look to me now. That's how he's really looking at me now. And I don't want to say that because maybe it's just the whole Brown situation isn't working. Maybe. But, God, it's like, bro, you're the best receiver, but they're relying on Jarvis Landry to be the number one? What does that tell you? That got to tell you something's up. You feel me? Again, I don't want to say it. I hate myself for saying it, but at the same time, it's like,
yeah.
It's like, is it possible that he's really not that guy? Is that possible? Like, for instance, like that's a realization we might have to come to. We might have to. And I'm scared to say that and actually believe it. I'm only saying it as like a maybe, it's a possibility. I'm going to wait a little bit longer before I'm anything definitive. I do want to see him out of Cleveland because if you're going to – look, if Jarvis Landry is clearly the number one, Odell's going to have to be like, look, man, if I'm too much here and I'm clogging up the system or you feel obligated to throw to me, whatever the case may be, yo, he said OBJ a cost streamer, he ain't a receiver. Yo, I mean, you're not, look, man, I'm not going to go that far. I swear I'm not going that far, but I am worried about Odell. Like, is it possible he's a solid receiver who was being overhyped by one play? That's kind of the fear I'm starting to develop with OBJ right now, Mike.
I mean, I think OBJ is a good receiver. I think he's not at that tier 1 level, but I feel like he's a nice, solid receiver who a young quarterback can use. But I feel like with the Browns, Baker forcing it. I feel like Baker trying to force it to Odell Beckham to make him happy.
I'll be honest. I have seen a few plays where like you see it that he's kind of just eyeing him the whole time, and it's gonna be interesting. I hope I get to see him out of there to see if Odell's really is that guy, because I hope he is. I think he can be.
And I think wherever he goes next will determine what we really think of Odell Beckham.
100%. Like if he stays in Cleveland, I think people are gonna go, okay, whatever. He's a number 2. He's always been. And we just, you know what I mean. If he goes somewhere else and pops off, now we can look at it and go, okay, cool. You know, a lot of people are saying another thing. A lot of people who were saying was Carson Wentz. All the Carson Wentz, and I said this in the beginning. Carson Wentz, he don't deserve the disrespect people gave him. He don't deserve it. This year, Carson Wentz on passes 10 or more yards thrown this season, and I don't mean kind of like, you know, little boop, and then they get it and take up. No, I'm talking about legit when the ball travels at least 10 or more yards. He has a 147 passer rating, which is first. 7 touchdown passes and 0 turnover-worthy plays.
I mean,
this year, because I need this Carson Wentz slander to stop. Like, I've been telling people, yeah, his last year wasn't good, but that's not who he is. Nobody want to listen. 9-1. He's got 9 TDs, 1 interception, over 1,500 yards, and he's got the second best completion percentage in his career. So can we stop saying that it's his fault?
I mean, I never was down on Carson Wentz. It was just the injuries. He could never stay healthy. That's the only thing that was wrong with Carson Wentz. Like his MVP season, he was fantastic, and I feel like they probably still could have won the Super Bowl if he never got hurt. But we'll never know that. But yeah, my whole problem with him was just staying healthy. That's it.
Yeah,
the talent is there. He just gotta stay healthy.
Yeah, people are just disrespecting him too much.
And he's in the perfect situation with the Colts. Good defense, good offense, running backs, receivers.
It always comes down to those plays that they end up just choking. I don't know, you know, like their last loss, Carson Wentz had one of the best games of his career and they lost. Let that sink in, and then they find a way to blame him. By the way, number 2, can we leave Tua alone, please? Please
leave who?
Tua Tagovailoa. Can we please leave him alone? Can we let the kid live? Can we let him breathe, please? Because every single time the Dolphins lose, it's his fault.
But you know what these analysts that I don't listen to like that, they always want to compare quarterbacks. Like
I just don't get that.
Like they talking about Justin
Herbert.
Not Justin Jalen Hurts from Philly.
Oh yes.
And how he's the problem, but yet you don't hear anything about Trevor Lawrence or Mac Jones. And I feel like Hurts is a solid quarterback. I just
like
don't
Hurts.
I don't feel like Philly is playing to his strength.
Coach should have went for Stafford to need that smoky from Bama. I will say this about Matthew Stafford. I genuinely didn't think it mattered, and I was wrong. I thought he was washed. I apologize to that. And by the way, there's another apology coming in a few minutes here. But
I seen Stafford kill my beard, so I knew he was the real deal.
Yeah, and what you said? Philly traded his tight end. They said F him. Yeah, they traded Zach Ertz to Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona.
Which caused a lot of uproar in the football fantasy community because he played in the Philly game, got traded, and all the points that he gave to the owners who had him got taken away because he got traded.
Sure.
So that was a whole uproar for a whole bunch of fantasy football fans because they're like, "Hey, yo, where my points at?" So that was crazy.
Well, with quarterbacks, I feel like you should at least give a quarterback at least 3 years to.
Can you say whoa? Say that one more time.
At least about 3 years.
Hey, yo, what college you go to, man? You sound too smart for this show, dog. Yo, I've been screaming at. I always said, bro, give the kid his rookie contract.
Because
can we give him his rookie contract?
Yeah, Because I feel like with teams, I feel like you get a quarterback, and you gotta play to his strengths, so you know what you really got. So
Talk to him.
let's say 3 years from now, you know what you got in Jalen Hurts.
Talk to
You
him.
be like, all right, we give him this and this. Now we up and running. And if you got a good team around him, so if he's not the guy, you can still get you another guy and still have a good team. You just
Talk to him.
trading all your good players away, and now you stuck with all young players trying to see what your quarterback can give you.
Look, I be on Twitter a lot, right? And it's the funniest thing in the world, right? Because, see, a lot of people have been blaming Tua for the loss, right? The kid had a 70% completion percentage, threw for over 300 yards, had 2 TDs, and he threw a pick, which I wasn't a fan of. But to blame the kid on the loss is wild to me. It's like the same thing with Jalen Hurts. Look,
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts has kept these Eagles. These Eagles should have been blown out every single loss. He's helping keep this team in there. At some point, can we just take a step back and go, you know what? He's not ready. You know, he's not that guy just yet. But he's on the path.
Yeah, see, he's not that guy yet. Let me give him some talent around him and let me see what I got.
Yeah.
And then if he don't deliver, you tried your best to give him everything he could possibly need. So you know how you make your decision to move off him. But you can't just do that without giving him some help or some talent.
It's just it's insane to me because I've always wanted somebody logical in my life, and here you are. Because I've been screaming this for like ever, and people look at me like I'm crazy. By the way, before I forget, have you heard about DK Metcalf and that Shannon Sharp beef? Oh boy, let me indulge you. So DK, they just played. They were the Sunday night game, Seattle versus Steelers, right?
Yeah.
So there was basically towards the end of the game, it was a close game, and Geno Smith threw the ball at DK, and instead of running out of bounds, he tried to do hero ball and tried to do too much. He ended up fumbling the ball. Shannon Sharp was like, he went on Twitter, was like, oh, basically what he does every game. This is what he does every game, right? Oh, why'd you do that, man? You didn't have to do that. Just put his 2 cents in. Why DK Metcalf, fun dip hairhead ass, trying to come at him talking about, ooh, watch your mouth, little man? I'm like, first of all, the day you call Shannon Sharp little, you clearly need glasses. That's number one. Number two, this man has a resume. A resume that, DK, you wish you had. Literally, a resume you wish you had. And he was talking about, oh, yeah. And then Shannon Sharp basically said, look, bro, you try to do hero ball. What you want me to say? You try to do too much.
But can't blame anybody but yourself. You should have just ran out of bounds.
And again, it's not like Shannon Sharp was like, you're a scrub.
Yeah.
He didn't say that. He didn't say, yo, get this bum off the field. No, he was just like, try to do too much. He got mad.
Which he did.
He did. And then he tried to come at Shannon Sharp. And Shannon Sharp doing what he did. He stuck his chest out. Now, if I used to watch Undisputed a lot, then when I started doing podcasts, I kind of stopped watching it because I don't want my mind kind of tainted, right? But when I used to watch it, he had them tight suits. I'm talking about like, yo, he coughed and that thing go like his wait, and I'm like, he stuck his chest out and ripped the suit. I guarantee he was in his living room. He went out, he picked up a clean suit, sat down, and was like, let me stick my chest out, and broke it, right? This man started spitting out his resume. I'm like, my bad. I was like, hey, you got it, Chief.
Yes, and I ain't know too much about Shannon Sharp before the Undisputed show. I watched his highlights. He talked. He's valid.
I'm gonna put it to you this way. When a man can call out a date and tell you his exact stats, don't mess with him. That's it. Don't mess with the dude. If the dude is telling you, yeah, bro, by the way, in 01, I did this, that, and you look up and those his exact stats, don't play with the man. Leave the man alone.
Yeah.
Leave the man alone. But yeah, I just wanted to touch upon that because that was hilarious. And it's funny because Shannon Sharp really wasn't even trying to be rude. He was just like, bro, you're trying to do too much. DK Pride got all hurt. He got his feelings. He's like, got all mad and whatnot. I'm like, yo, DK, keep playing games.
That's what's wrong with these players now. They don't like to hear criticism.
Bro, 100%, bro. It's like, bro, you messed up.
Yeah.
You feel me? And you know you messed up because guess what? You fumbled the ball. If you're an offense, fumbling the ball is bad. So don't be mad because Brody out here checking you. I just want to touch upon that because that was hilarious. That had me weak, bro. I was watching it, I was reading it, and I was like, yo, DK, bro. I found something bigger than you. This L you about to hold, bro. So you better fall in line. But in terms of this Sunday, one thing I learned that I'm kind of really is Urban Meyer back in control of this team? Because with the whole hoopla with him basically grabbing, he was out here grabbing and, he was trying to do some things. He was in the huddle and they were kind of talking and everyone was listening to him. And it was funny because I was like, did he fly home? Did he go with the team? Or are they still kind of mad at him? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I mean, I don't follow too much the Jags, but I could say.
Let me tell you what happened then. Let me tell you. My man was living his best life.
But I did see the video of him with the in the club.
Oh, bro, yes, that video. Woo, he was living his best life, bro. Like no BS. But I thought I was looking at it like a music video. My guy was out there reaching for stuff. I was like, bless this man's heart.
But I can't really say if he the team listened to him because this is a really bad team. So it's like we wouldn't know until like next year till they get some some more players through the draft, free agency, and put together a real good team around Trevor Lawrence. And if Trevor Lawrence happy, then can't really yeah.
I feel you. But we're gonna keep NFL rolling. Monday night, the Titans are hosting the Bills tonight.
But before you start, I did have something that I did learn.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, my bad.
I did learn that if your team started 3-0, you shouldn't get too happy. I feel like when week 6 roll around, that's when we really know the contenders and the pretenders. So I want to shout out to Panthers fans who went 3-0, been 0-3 since. The Broncos have been 3-0 and 0-3 since. And the Pittsburgh, they looking all right. They've been 2-1 since they started 1-3. So I want to get that out the way.
Oh man, okay, that was hilarious. I'm gonna tell you that was funny. I feel bad for Panthers because I'm a Sam Darnold guy. I thought the reason that he kind of was bad was because he was on a bad team.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take that back in a minute because he's kind of been inconsistent. Not how I'm liking it. So I feel like maybe he's a pretty average quarterback that needs everything built around him, probably, which is not bad. I thought he was a star. Yeah, that was a horrible take in retrospect, but wow. But I'm sticking by it. That's still my guy. Sam Darnold, if he gets these Panthers to the playoffs, I'm going to tattoo his head on my forehead because he deserves that.
Yeah.
But now let's talk about the Monday night game. Titans, Bills. Who getting the dub?
I'm going with the Bills.
For consistency's sake, I'm gonna go Bills because I do pick'ems, every week.
Too.
So for consistency's sake, I'll go Bills. I hope Josh Allen throws nothing but turnovers.
Oh no, that's my quarterback fantasy.
And the thing is, I'm in a dilemma because in a league where I'm playing with some of my boys, I'm playing up against my boy Eddie, and he has Josh Allen, and it's crazy because he's got Josh Allen, and I'm like, I don't want him to get turned. I'm scared. But in all likelihood, I think it's gonna be a close game. I think Derrick Henry's gonna keep it close because dude's a freak. Dude is a freak.
But the Bills only allow 78.4 rushing yards.
Which again, if I'm not mistaken, I know they're number one overall in defense, and they're number one in rushing and passing as well. So their defense is But again, it's Derrick Henry. You feel me? That's Derrick Henry. You feel me? Last time he played Buffalo, he made Josh Norman kind of,
Yeah.
like, like imagine, bro. That's a grown man pick another grown man up. That's how I pick my son up when I'm playing with him, bro. That's what he did, bro. Like, he tried to stiff arm him, but somehow looked like if you catch the angle right, it looked like he was just holding him. It was crazy. I'm gonna go with the Bills. I think Derrick Henry will do his thing. I just think right now the Titans should probably regret trading for Julio, because what happened was they got Julio, and mind you, I'm a guy who when I got it, I loved it. I loved it because I was like, you got two, like guys here in the intro, which has completely and utterly aged horribly. Them, you got double one to keep the other one open. It's what's tough about it is when they first got it, I was under the impression they were still going to run the ball through Derrick Henry and then utilize the play action.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't really been doing that like that. Now, now they've kind of reverted to it, but in the beginning, Ryan Tannehill was flinging it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, I understand you got those two guys. That's fine, But who's the best player on your team?
Derrick Henry.
Without a shadow of a doubt, like, it's Derrick Henry. And that's not even a debate.
And that's why they kind of been off to this slow start, because they got away from what got them, their identity, run the football.
Mm-hmm. It's like the saying, dance with what took you to dance with what took you to the promise. Some shit like that. I don't know. Something like that. But you get the point, you know what I mean? Don't abandon what you got. Like what took you there, rely on it. Especially when you have a guy like Derrick Henry, who at worst is the second best back in the league. At worst. Some people have him at 1.
Yeah.
Because me personally, I have him at 2. I like Christian McCaffrey a little better.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I drafted him in fantasy. He decided to get injured, so I almost broke my phone. Shout out to Christian McCaffrey for getting injured again. Thank you for ruining my football fantasy season. But if you want to say he's 1, that's fine. I'm not going to argue with you.
No, I agree with you. I like Christian McCaffrey too. Yeah,
well, honestly, I'm gonna have to start switching that up because Christian McCaffrey's starting to get a little too injured. So I'm probably gonna have to slip him up there. But when your best guy, you're not using him, you're gonna take L's. That's just usually how it goes. So maybe if they go back to how they were, maybe they'll be all right. But like I said, I got faith in this Bills team. I think the Bills will get it done. I think it'll probably be like 28 to like 21, something like that. I think it'll be a very respectable game. I do not expect a blowout.
No.
I don't expect a blowout. If it's a blowout, then whoo! If the Bills blow them out, Josh Allen is definitely the MVP favorite.
Yeah.
Because right now I have Kyler, but right behind Kyler I got Josh Allen. For me, it's Kyler Murray, Josh Allen, then Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
those are my 3 now. Justin Herbert kind of took a little tumble. We'll see if he can regain himself. By the way, if you guys think that now that Lamar Jackson is all of a sudden in the front running for MVP,
I say probably like
a touchdown or 200 yards. I just want to throw that out there. He's a running back, and I've been screaming that since day 1. And matter of fact, so that way there's no debate. Lamar Jackson is their running back. I just want to throw that out there because I'm just sick of the noise. I'm sick of it because he has one good throwing game, and then he goes back to not be able to do routine throws. And at this point, if you can't do routine throws, you should not be calling yourself a quarterback. We killed Blake Bortles for doing it. We killed Tim Tebow for it. Why can Lamar Jackson get a pass? Because I'm be honest with you, all I see when I look at Lamar, I just see another Tim Tebow.
I mean, well, I do feel like people gave up on Tim Tebow early, but Lamar.
I'm talking about the play style, not the love he got. I'm talking about the play style. It just reminds me a lot of Tim Tebow.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying I forgot what year it was when he led the Broncos to the playoffs, and people just he never had a career after that. But back to Lamar Jackson, I feel like Lamar Jackson is better than both of those. He just dynamic. But I get what you're saying about a running back, but
but here's the thing: you say it's dynamic. That's not dynamic. That's not dynamic.
So
dynamic is Russell Wilson, who can run and throw. Patrick Mahomes dynamic. Which people are saying Patrick Mahomes is a little overrated now, which I'm not gonna go that far, but that's dynamic.
But he getting the job done. He won 35 games and he just turned 25 years old. That's a lot of games.
Yeah, sure, it is a lot of games, but at the same time, what is it getting you? Yeah. That's really what it comes down to. It's not really getting you that much, because then when you guys start going to the postseason, when they understand you and they go, okay, because think about it, if you're beating up on a bad team, you're gonna get that dub, right?
Yeah.
But when you start getting to the whole postseason, you're playing solid teams. Now you know what I mean? That running stuff isn't gonna work.
I'll tell you this. This playoff will determine Lamar Jackson, because last year he got his first playoff win. So this year, if he get bounced out early, then I feel like you could be concerned about Lamar Jackson.
I don't think anybody will ever be truly concerned about him. I don't think so. It's just it's weird. For some reason, Baker Mayfield needs to prove every other game that he's that guy. Lamar doesn't have to.
I mean, with Baker, that's just Cleveland Browns fan. When I watch Baker, I just see a guy who can play quarterback, but they rely on their run game to win games. So, and I feel like they ask Baker just to do the bare minimum, and they depend on their run game. But I feel like Baker can, if they let Baker make those throws, I feel like he can make those throws. But they don't allow him to make those kind of throws. They rely on the run game.
Yeah, it's just it was crazy, because last year Lamar Jackson won an MVP. It's just very interesting to see. If I'm not mistaken, he was the first running back since Adrian Peterson to win MVP. Oh, my bad. He was my bad. I apologize. My bad. You feel me? I'm my bad. That's on me. That's
with Lamar, he's the quarterback and the running back. So if you win a game, you can win by him running, or you can win by him passing the game. So that's why I feel like the difference.
But here's the thing. That's his first playoff game. How the Chargers played him, where they basically were like, "Look, bro, you can go ahead and run. We don't care." Because think about it, constantly running the ball is really not going to help you like that. Like, you can't rely on that heavy. Sure, it might win you a game or two, but when it gets to like the point, for instance, you know for a fact that running won't always win you the game. When Jimmy Garoppolo only threw the ball 8 times, why didn't they do that again? Why didn't they do that in the Super Bowl? Because being able to do, that's not how you're not going to be able to win. You need to have both. You need to have some element of throwing and some element of running. If as a quarterback, you can't throw the ball consistently. Look, man, he's missing dots that I can hit. He's hitting. Come on, bro. And I'm in no shape to play football. Only shape I'm in is around, bro. 0. The number of wins I'll probably get, but I'll still, you know what I mean? Like, there's still dots that he's out here missing. Yeah. How you overthrowing the dude in the flat? Like, I think someone holler at me. How are you overthrowing the dude in the flat? And everyone goes, oh. Like, what?
You talking Lamar, right?
Yeah. No. Like, man,
I do think Lamar got some flaws into his game, and I don't get the Baker criticism either. I kind of like Baker.
I like Baker. I think he's a solid quarterback. Obviously, like you said, they're all a run team. They're a run first team, and there's no debate. They got the same thing going on as Tennessee. Only difference is Tennessee they got that one bad boy. When it comes to the Browns, they got 2 in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Even though Kareem Hunt got injured, I'm hoping it's nothing crazy. We'll find out in due time. But Nick Chubb is he a bad boy too. He's not Derrick Henry.
So do you think Lamar will win the Super Bowl?
No. Hell no. If he can win the Super Bowl, I'm gonna put it to you this way. If he wins the Super Bowl, New England, hit me up. I deserve a max contract right now. Ain't no way this dude winning. But keeping this same play style, no. Now, if I've been expecting him to be able to pass the ball better. If he can do that, imagine a Lamar Jackson who can consistently throw the ball. If that is not the scariest thing in the world, Like people like to talk about Patrick Mahomes. Imagine if he could throw the ball. Let's see. I want to. Matter of fact, if he could throw the ball, give me like an average quarterback. An average quarterback. Baker Mayfield. Forget it. People want to call Baker Mayfield average. If he could throw the ball like Baker and keep that running thing, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. This kid will be dangerous. Unfortunately, you can't throw the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm seeing headlines talking about, oh my God, he's in MVP conversation. He's like, what?
Yeah. No.
Did y'all not see the game? Like, oh my God. But before we go, I have to give a legitimate apology. As you all know, baseball, it's in the postseason. I thought the Dodgers would sweep Atlanta, the Braves. I thought that. Atlanta is now up 2-0 off 2 back-to-back walk-offs. I apologize. I don't know what I was thinking when I said the Dodgers would sweep them. I will never disrespect the Braves again. And if they win, I'm going to buy a Braves jersey. Like, if they win the whole thing, I'll buy a Braves jersey. I just want to throw that out there because I've been running my mouth a lot about Atlanta. And, yeah, I got to apologize. So I just have to throw that quick apology out there.
Yeah, I forgot to even say this. Congratulations to my Chicago Sky for winning the WNBA champion.
Did you see what they put up? What was more iconic? I forgot her name. I sound like such a casual. Homegirl was from.
It was recently, or
it was recently. She was on Chicago. She was on Chicago Sky. She was in Minnesota.
Oh, about was it Lexi?
No, man. This is gonna bother me until I find it. I'm gonna tell you right now. And it's crazy because she I guess she was born in Chicago. Candace Parker, there it is.
Oh,
they asked what's more iconic, her or LeBron coming back 3-1. They were like, what's more iconic, LeBron returning to his hometown to win the title, or Candace Parker going back to her hometown to win the title? I'm like, bro, Chicago swept them, right? The Sky swept them.
Yeah, they won. Mercury won one game.
No, they didn't.
They won. They won. Yeah, it was 3-1. I think Chicago won game 1, Mercury won game 2, and then Chicago won the last 2 games.
Oh, you right? Yeah. Mercury won game 2. Oh, that's the one I didn't watch. That's the one I didn't watch. I missed game 2 completely because I completely forgot it was on. Like I literally forgot because I thought what happened was they had I basically thought they had an extra day to rest for some reason. I don't know what I was thinking, but I missed game 2.
WNBA need to do something better with scheduling now because some of them games they scheduled those games against football and
it's like don't do that.
Yeah.
It's like don't do that. You know what I mean? Like it's the NFL, which is probably one of, if not the biggest sports thing in America. Don't do that, bro. You feel me? You can't do that. But I will say this. They asked what was more iconic, her or LeBron. I'm like, bro, y'all hate on LeBron. Yo, he came back 3-1. Like, he's the only team in NBA history to come back 3-1. What are you talking about?
And plus, I like, WNBA. I feel like they deserve to be on a bigger platform. But, of course, NBA is more bigger, and it's LeBron James. So,
like, when I saw that, I was like, I hope this is a joke. Like, this can't be real. Like, I'm like, which one of these came back from I don't even care if it's a man or a woman. I don't care about that. Which team did who did something that was never done before? LeBron. Okay. When homegirl can come back 3-1, we'll talk about it. Even if I'm not mistaken, I think they only played 5 games.
Yeah.
So it would have been the equivalent of her coming down 2-0-2. Then maybe. I'm like, shawty out here 3-1 in? Yo, the Chicago's got 3-1. You out here talking about, is it more iconic than LeBron? He came back 3-1 against
the Warriors.
Against arguably the greatest team in the history of the NBA. If they win that ring, they're the greatest. You know what I mean? But
and what they had the best record, the all-time record, 73 games.
That's the 73-19.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. I swear, motherfuckers just be saying anything, bro. I swear to God. As always, follow your boy on Twitter at Prideful Takes. I tell you, bro, Mike, if you're not on Twitter, you need to get there, bro.
I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter.
Bro, it's the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I love arguing with people. It's the funniest thing in the world, especially when they run out of things to say and they just don't answer you. So you kind of like wait a little bit and then you kind of respond, hey, you still there?
Yeah.
Funniest thing in the world. Catch us on Facebook at Prideful Takes. We go live on Facebook. We also be putting up news and memes, all that good stuff. For instance, we just put up UFC, the card in December. We put up some of the fights that's coming up there, which boy, I can't wait for that, bro. Who need Christmas, bro? I got UFC, bro. Forget Santa Claus. I got Dana White. If you don't have Facebook, you're in luck. We're on YouTube at Prideful Takes. Visit our website, www.pridefultakes.com. Not only do we have every episode there, but we also have original articles. And this is a problem, right? I say this every episode. The only reason my girl's still with me is because I knocked her up. If not, she would have been dipping, you feel me? So I know my face is a problem, but that's why we on Spotify at Prideful Takes Podcast. You'll be able to see every episode there as soon as we finish. Mike, my guy, it's been a pleasure, bro. It was fun, bro.
I had fun today.
100%, bro. I hope I get to see you again, bro.
Most definitely.
100%. It's your boy Pride on behalf of Mike. We'll see you guys in the next one. Be safe.
Peace.
Knew where that was going. That was a great read. Oh, Lillard from the logo. That'll quiet the
2 on the season. 2nd and 1 for the Bills. They handle the rush. Allen looking. End zone.
To Shohei Ohtani. Center field. Let's watch it go. Did several of those inside low kicks.